Hello everybody, it's Aaran back from Screenstars, here once again to do another review for Geek Legion of Doom. And today I'm reviewing another documentary, and it's called The Bill Murray Experience, a documentary from 2017 that was made by a little known actress called Sadie Katz. When you look at her career, she's done some small budget horror movies, things like that. And this is quite a fascinating documentary in that, as it explains, she comes to a crossroads in her life at the beginning of this documentary. Essentially, her marriage is called off, or so it kind of briefly mentions it, and she's going through a bit of a bad patch in her life. And while she was scouring the internet one night, she discovered this thing called the Bill Murray Experience, where Bill Murray apparently does random events across America or wherever, and might be something like walking into a restaurant and stealing somebody's French fry and saying no one will ever believe you, and he just does random things where crash people's weddings and all this kind of stuff, and he gives people their own personal Bill Murray experience, having ice cream with people and stuff like that. And she was researching it, and she just had this epiphany in the sense of, okay, I want one of these. I want a Bill Murray experience, and he was her favourite actor, as she describes, and she decides to focus on this at the next part of her life. She gets initially her friends involved, and they do a lot of research initially on where he could be and all this kind of stuff. It all seems a little unfocused and a little unorganised. They go up to these events that they think he might be at, and there's a lot of misfires and a lot of disappointments, and eventually it's a bit light and dark, this documentary, actually, because initially I was a bit concerned because it felt to me like she was doing it for the wrong reasons, for two wrong reasons. First, because it didn't seem like her mental health was where it should be initially, and with all the friends and her on board, it seemed like they were doing it almost to further their own careers and not necessarily for the art of it, if you like, or and I didn't feel it initially. I felt like it was being done for the wrong reasons, and I didn't just quite click with it. But as the documentary goes on, it's because she becomes so obsessed with this, she actually loses some of her friends, and they lose interest, leave it completely. She's left on her own, which actually helps the documentary and helps her, because it's not a party anymore. Initially it just felt like a party and a laugh, and it refocuses her and refocuses on why she wants to do it, and it becomes a much better documentary for it. She ends up meeting Bill Murray's brother Joel, and they sit down and have a chat about what's the best approach, how can she get this Bill Murray experience, how can she meet him. She goes to the set of Rock the Casbah, I think it's called, in the hope that she's going to meet him, and that doesn't work out, and she's constantly coming up against these brick walls and disappointments, and you do kind of feel sorry for her quite a lot. She's actually really quite an engaging person with a really bubbly personality, Sadie, and I've never wanted anyone to meet Bill Murray as much in my life as this woman. She was putting her heart and soul into it, and it was entertaining and engaging, this documentary, and fun at times, if a little bit. The direction of it was a bit muddled, is the best way I can describe it, really. But fun, engaging, interesting. I mean, I've never heard of this Bill Murray experience. I think it's a wonderful thing if this is something that he does. Imagine Bill Murray walking around America and every given opportunity, just walking into people's lives and saying a quick hi and giving them this Bill Murray experience. It's it's a nice thing to do, that he does these things. I'm sure some of them are exaggerated. I mean, there's at one point on this documentary as well where she's desperately trying to meet him, and she thinks he's at this place where he is, but she's not allowed to meet him, and he gives these locals a Bill Murray experience where he has an ice cream with them. and she actually ends up interviewing the people that he gave this Bill Murray experience to, if you like. And you could see, even though she interviewed him and she was pleased for them, she was heartbroken for herself. So whereas it does at times feel a little bit over obsessional, and she just kind of obsess over it a little bit. And there are a couple of moments in the documentary where you do look at it and you think there are some dark undertones here, in a sense of, you know, she's in a real difficult place in her life actually here in this documentary. And it's probably good that she had this to focus on, because she did seem to be in a fairly dark place a couple of times in this documentary. But I think very, very interesting. I like a good documentary. I thought this was fun and interesting, if not overly complex, if you like. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10. If you like documentaries and you're a fan of Bill Murray, certainly, then there's some fun to be had with this documentary. So thank you very much for watching, and take care, everybody.